Welcome everybody to a look at a new Criterion Collection 4K release, and it is 1975's Night Moves. So this is directed by Arthur Penn, who also did the really rather good The Chase and Bonnie and Clyde. This is a neo-noir thriller clocking in at 99 minutes long, and it stars the recently deceased Gene Hackman. Great shame what happened to him, his wife, and one of their dogs. And yeah, absolute icon of cinema as far as I'm concerned. I've seen at least 41 of his other films, I think, plus this one, so 42 in total. Great films like The Conversation, Unforgiven, The French Connection, Mississippi Burning, The Birdcage, The Quick and the Dead, The Poseidon Adventure, plus underrated ones like Under Fire, Prime Cut, Narrow Margin, and Geronimo, an American Legend. So yeah, great shame that he has passed away. Obviously, he's not done films for quite some time now, I think more than 2 decades by the time he passed. So obviously he hadn't been doing film for quite some time, but it's still a massive, massive loss to film. And yeah, a great shame what has happened to him, his wife, and their pet dog. So yeah, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. And it also stars Melanie Griffith, who is also in Fair City, Cherry 2000, and Stormy Monday. So, private detective and former football player Harry Mosby gets hired onto what seems a standard missing person case. A former Hollywood actress wants Mosby to find and return her daughter. Harry travels to Florida to find her, but he begins to see a connection between the runaway girl, the world of Hollywood stuntmen, and a suspicious mechanic when a body is discovered. So, though this neo noir film would have been perfect for me had the hows and whys been tied up that little bit better, it still nonetheless makes for a superb viewing experience. Gene Hackman, as always, is sensational in the lead role as he really engrosses you with his character, who is deeply flawed yet endlessly watchable. The supporting cast is solid. I love the score. It is extremely well shot, has good production value. The final act, where all the pieces seem to fit into place, coupled with an equally satisfying and shocking set piece, is extraordinarily done. The 70s aesthetic is really cool. It is well paced and it is engrossing throughout. So yeah, this is one of my favorite Gene Hackman films, especially from the 70s. It for me ranks alongside the French Connection, Conversation, and the Poseidon Adventure for me. So yeah, really really great film and a solid 4.5 out of 5. In terms of this release itself, well, the only issue I have is the artwork, which I'm not a particular fond of. It's a little bit murky. It doesn't really say much about the film, and yeah, it just doesn't sell me on the film. If I saw this as, you know, before seeing the film itself, I'd think that doesn't really engage me or excite me or anything like that. Certainly not in the way that the original poster work does. But that said, the 4K release itself is really, really rather good. And we do get a solid booklet with this one as well. Cast and crew on the back there. So, yeah, inside we have Losing Ground by Mark Harris, which as per usual is this fold out kind of arrangement that Criterion have always done. And that continues on the reverse, while also talking about the presentation itself, and special thanks, acknowledgements, and production credits. So the film itself is presented in the aspect ratio of 185:1. It's had a new 4K restoration, which was created from the 35mm original camera negative. A vintage 35mm Technicolor dye transfer print was used as a color reference, and the original monaural soundtrack was remastered from the 35mm DME magnetic track. And the future is presented in Dolby Vision HDR on the 4K HD disc and high definition SDR on the Blu-ray. And yeah, it goes through the mastering supervisors and such. So yeah, there's the discs themselves. 4K at the front, Blu-ray at the back. And on the disc itself, we've got a new audio commentary by Matthew Asprey Gear, author of Mosby Confidential. So Mosby Confidential being the private detective agency that Gene Hackman's character runs. New audio interview with actor Jennifer Warren. Interview with director Arthur Penn from a 1975 episode of Cinema Showcase. Interview with Penn from the 1995 documentary Arthur Penn, A Love Affair with Film. The Day of the Director, a behind-the-scenes featurette trailer, and English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, plus that essay that I've already shown you. So, yeah, truly superb film. Just wish the artwork on this release was a little bit better, but that's the only issue I have with this release, quite frankly. So, yeah, get out there and see this film if you haven't already. It's an excellent film. It really does rank highly amongst Gene Hackman's massive and varied filmography. And yeah, even if you've not particularly seen all that much from Gene Hackman or even director Arthur Penn, it is still well worth watching. And yeah, definitely one of my favourites out of you know, massive filmography from Gene Hackman himself. So yeah, incredible shame that he has passed, but he has left behind a humongous legacy, and he will live on in his films for a great deal longer than he lived for. So yeah, excellent film, well worth getting 4.5 out of 5. But if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.